Hey guys, so here is the installation for your Rick and Morty topper lighting. This is what you're going to get in the package. You have a connection cable, power cable, which plugs into the game, and then we'll plug into that white box there, which is the wireless RGB controller. And then that is connected already to your two light strips. You have a remote control. Make sure you pull the little plastic tab out of the bottom to activate the battery. There's a couple of screws here you're going to need to adjust or to replace what's in the topper currently, and then some tidying up accessories with some zip tie mounts and some clips to route the cable and make it all nice and neat and tidy in there. So that's what should come in your package. Let's take a look at putting it in the game. So to install the topper lighting, you're going to need to access both the lower cabinet and the upper cabinet. Easiest way to get started is just to take off the glass and raise the play field, and also to get the keys out for the back box door. If you've not yet opened up your game and messed around inside it all, you're going to need to open up the latches here for the back box. There's two of them. Here's one of them. Hopefully you can sort of see that in there, and they just latch down, and so you're going to want to flip them up and then lift it up just a little bit more and take it out of the lockdown bar. It's one on each side, so we'll do that on that side. Bar can come out, and then you can slide the glass out and close the door first, and then you can raise the play field. We'll take a look at that in a second. So now that the glass is off, you can raise the play field. Just lift it up and get it past the first indent there, and you're going to want to take the balls out. Going to use the plunger here with your finger and just flick it up a few times, and that's going to kick the balls out of the trough. And then you're going to want to lift the play field up into its full and upright position so we can get to the wiring. We're going to be dealing with the back corner here where the computer power supply is. Guess you can't see that yet. And probably the easiest thing is to start threading the wire down from the top. So I would grab the keys for your back box, which should be hanging inside your coin door, and open that guy up. And we're going to run the wire. I currently have the wire already run in this game. It's sitting over here right now. But basically, we're going to run the wire from above where the topper is through the back of the back box and down into the bottom of the cabinet. It's going over to this side, so that's probably the easiest way to go. You can take off the glass at some point and tidy it up back there with some clips and zip ties and such. But we'll just show you running that wire. Alright, so we're looking at the top of the game now. You can see the existing topper here, and the wiring from that going down through the back box just tucks in the hole there behind the mesh. You're going to take your wiring for the topper lighting, and this is the piece from our lighting that's going to go down through the back box. So all you have to do is slide it right next to the wiring that's already there, and just push it right through and down into the back box. It will go right down through to the bottom of the back box, where you can then route it to the bottom of the cabinet. What you're going to be left with is this little connector here, and you can just leave that sitting on top here. You're only going to need a few inches of it to connect to the power connector up at the top here. So let's go ahead and do that. So here is where the power connector came down into my back box. Of course, you can remove the glass and route it nicely, but what I would suggest is just bringing it over to this far right side hole and sliding it down next to the existing cable management that's there, those black tubes. You can use those tubes to secure it to, or even tuck it into the tube if there's enough room to slide it in, and just sort of bury it in there with the rest of the wires. And then once it's going down into the bottom, you can close up the back box, and you're going to want to pull the play field all the way out. And of course it can only go so far, but that might just be enough room to get in here and do what we need to do. I want to grab some lighting. Alright, so there's some lighting. Now you can see what's going on down here. Here's the cable that is coming down from the topper lighting. And then this cable down here is just a bundle that's coming out of the PC power supply, which is just a little metal box with a grate down here with a fan. And these are unused, so all you have to do is plug into one of those, and you'll see that this matches right up with the connectors that come from that power supply. And you're just going to plug them together. It's going to be a yellow and black going to the red and black on this side, and you should be good to go there. That's the only connection that needs to be made. Like I said, you could tuck the wires down into these sleeves so it looks sort of stock, and use some zip ties maybe, and you're all connected down there. So once again, we're back up at the top here looking at the existing topper. Now mine's already a bit disassembled, but what you're going to have are 4 screws, one in each of these 4 holes, and the original one that comes with the game is this one right here that's still there. You're going to want to take out all 4 of these. We're going to supply you with 2 screws to go here in this back row, so you can just remove these back 2 and replace them, as I've already done on this side. The front ones you're going to want to remove completely and hang on to those, and those are going to you're going to use those to secure the topper lighting to the top of the game. Okay, so we're back up here at the topper, and you're going to want to remove the 4 screws that are holding it on. The back 2 get removed, just like, oh, gonna need that max setting. So you're going to take those back 2 out and replace them with the 2 that we've provided. Just give it a slimmer head so the mounting bracket can fit over where it needs to go. I already have one in here, as you can see, so I'm just going to proceed with the next steps, and that is placing the lighting in there and attaching it. The lighting already sort of comes pre-configured in its bracket. It might have slipped out of the clips during shipping, so just make sure it's all clipped together. And the shorter bar goes facing the rear of the topper. So you're going to slide this guy in. And you'll have to adjust the clips so that they line up with the holes on the topper. So you can see this first set of clips. We're going to want to slide this way and get them to get pretty close to where that light is sitting, just, I don't know if you can see it, just inside the edge of that plastic for the topper. Obviously you can adjust this once it's screwed in. The point is simply to be able to put this screw right in the middle of that little clip and then screw it into the front hole that the screw came out of originally. Let's see if I can do all this at one time. I would leave it a little loose until you can get to the other side, but you're going to do the same thing. You're going to adjust this angle and the distance of that clip and put the other front screw in. These wires, what I would suggest is running them through the middle here, just like so. And then this box can come around the far side and even go under that whole contraption there, and then that's what's going to get the plug that we already ran plugged into it. It's just dangling over here. We're just going to plug that in the back of the box there, and once we've done that, you can secure the box to the top with some of the double-sided tape if you want, and you can also tidy up this wire by zip tying it to the rest of them that come down through the back of the back box. And that's it. The other wire coming out of this white box is the IR sensor Generally, it's not too important about where it's positioned, but if you're unable to make changes to the lighting while you're in front of the game, you may need to move this so it's more visible from the front of the game, but it doesn't really have to be sticking out or anything like that. It can just be down in the front there. You shouldn't be able to necessarily need to see it. The IR signal will bounce off other stuff. And that should be it. Once you turn your game on, the lighting should have power, and then you can use the remote to turn on the different modes of lighting. The remote has a few modes of operation. This lower white square here is referring only to the, oops, a little bright there, is referring only to the white lighting. So this is an RGBW set of strips. So that means you can do RGB colors fully, or you can just do white as a natural white. So using the on button for the natural white will turn on just the white function, and you can adjust the amount of brightness of that, and then on and off, and then have manual increments of the brightness. So that's just the white. You can have that on and off in combination with the RGB colors. These settings up here, on and off and up and down brightness, are for the RGB colors, and then you can do full RG or B, just straight up those colors, or it will mix in a white and any other of these combinations that are available here. You can combine these with the white color as well to give even a brighter and then more sort of light view, a light color. So if you were using green directly, it would be very bright green, but then you can add in some white to that, maybe at a low percentage just to give an additional brightness or adjust the color or balance to what you're looking at. So let's take a look at that. So here are the controls for the lighting. Just turning on will reenact whatever color was there last. So here's green straight up. It's a little bright on the camera compared to what I'm seeing in the room, but that's what green does. And of course you have full control over those combinations. If we turn off the RGB lighting, we can turn on just the white lighting, and again the brightness seems much brighter on the camera than is in person in terms of being washed out. You could take that all the way down to a 25% level if you needed to, and all the way back up to 100. I can leave that on and turn on the green at the same time. So that gives you sort of a combination of colors of white and green. So you get some brightness and some color with it. Of course, maybe you'd want more of a pink or a purple, or even a red. All those options are available. You can turn them on and off and adjust brightness to make it exactly what you want. There are some additional options on the bottom of the remote to let you do some like fading and jumping around of colors. It's totally up to you if you want to play around with those, but feel free to try them out and enjoy your topper lighting.
An unstoppable science fiction boy is attacking our nation's final line of defense. Will we all fall to his deadly touch?
But first, something silly.
What do you mean, but first? I already said up next. You always do
I
this.
don't always do shit. Don't gaslight me.
Gaslighting doesn't exist. You made it up because you're f***ing crazy.
Hey, sorry I didn't listen to you and tried to kill the whole world and stuff. I guess I gotta learn how to live in the moment a little more.
Oh boy, so you actually learned something today? What is this, Full House? I was living in the moment all day and it kept getting me killed by Nazis. I think you have to think ahead and live in the moment.